Hi, this is Lindsay, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Pageant Pals. I'm Maddie.
And I'm Jess.
And welcome back to another episode of Crowned and Dangerous. This is number 10 for us.
Yay!
Yay! It's pretty exciting here on our end. We hope it's just as exciting for you.
Maybe.
Probably not. This is still going on. But no, our last episode, we talked about why we aren't coming back to the Miss America organization. Wah, wah, wah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a heated episode.
It was. It was a really fun episode to record, honestly, and we hope that you enjoyed our raw, candid thoughts
ranting
that we can say now since we're not under a contract.
True that.
Yeah, because, the new contract is all about, lying.
Not having a microphone, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, honestly.
Love it.
But
what else do we have going on?
I mean, I'm trying to think. It was just Christmas.
It was just Christmas.
Which is exciting. Yay.
Okay, wait, I have to tell a story about last night's.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
So, Maddie and I were gone for Christmas break. It was great. We come back to the pageant pad.
Yep.
Last night. And we're like, kind of hungry. Kind of want some McDonald's. So we go to the McDonald's closest to our place, and they're out of French fries.
Which, what was I saying in the car? McDonald's being out of French fries is like Burger King being out of Whoppers. It's like, what were my analogies? I had a really good one.
You also, the only thing that I can compare it to is it's like, Starbucks without coffee.
Yeah, it's just stupid.
Like
it
was
stupid.
dumb.
Like, what the heck was
what
going
McDonald's
on?
doesn't have fries.
Right.
So then we leave there. We go to another McDonald's nearby, closed because it's Christmas, I guess. We went to another 4 McDonald's around, in the same city. They were all closed as well. So we go to one more, and we're like, I swear to God, if this one is also closed, done.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go to Quick Trip. We got to do something else. Sure enough, it's closed.
So we went to 6 or 7 of them.
We went to 6 or 7 different McDonald's. First one doesn't have fries. The other ones were closed. It was just a disaster.
So that kind of was
that was a downer.
That sucked, honestly.
But then we gave money to homeless people.
That was just a weird experience. Okay, no, but the thing is that the wife asked me for money to buy cigarettes.
Yeah.
And then Jessica over here is just like, yeah, of course.
I know. I was like, because
Jessica's nicer than I am, basically. But it was Christmas.
It was Christmas, so I felt like I needed to do a good deed. And I was like, I don't know, whatever floats your boat. You do whatever you want with this $4 that I give you.
Yeah.
He was trying to convince us to give him more money. So then I was like, whatever, you just take what I give you.
Well, it's one of those situations where if I've just kind of learned, especially with my platform stuff, with trafficking, if people put stuff on your car, flag you down, they could just be holding you up so somebody else can grab you or something.
Right.
So my immediate instinct was just get in the car, don't say anything.
Yeah. And Jessica, I was just being
pokes her little head out like a prairie dog. Coming out of its hole for the morning. And it's just listening to this guy. And I'm just in the car something bad's going to happen.
I know. This is where being nice could probably get me killed one day. Maddie just gives me the side eye.
I just did. I'm like, is it being nice or is it survival skills?
I have 0 survival skills.
Quote that.
Quote that.
Put that on the record.
We'll put that on some merch. Speaking of merch, we have a new design out right now on TeePublic. The link is on our most recent Facebook post and also in our Instagram bio. So if you're looking for some late Christmas gifts, feel free to shop it up.
Do you just shop it up?
Shop it up. I hate myself for saying that.
It's a day. It's been a day.
It's been a day.
It's the first day back at work. It's a lot. Okay.
Merry Christmas.
I'm at a sugar hangover.
We've got wine, though.
We have wine.
So that's good.
Should we clink?
Cheers to that.
Oh, what a nice. It's like ASMR.
Oh, gross.
You don't like ASMR?
I think it's weird. It freaks me out a little bit.
I did it when I was in school sometimes, or I listened to it when I would go to sleep, and I had
I thought you had like an ASMR YouTube channel.
Oh, no. Come on, you know I would tell you about that.
I meant, and then you do like clapping. And
you have to like rustle leaves and stuff. That's my favorite. It's like one of those weird things that makes you tingle. But
interesting.
Anyways, we've said the past 2 episodes that our episodes are going to only be like 20 minutes long. And this one, we are holding ourselves to it. Only 20 minutes. We are on the clock. And tell us and let us know if you like these shorter episodes or you like our longer ones. Let us know. We can take the feedback.
We can handle it.
We have tough skin.
I don't.
Well, I do. I'll be the tough skin for both of us.
Okay. So today we kind of wanted to discuss what's been going on with the national board versus the state organizations, because there has been... Ooh.
Honestly, it's pretty much like North versus South Korea at this point.
I love that. The North versus the South in the Civil War as well.
I used to watch this YouTuber, and for Halloween one year, her and her boyfriend almost went as North and South Korea.
Oh.
Fun fact. Okay.
I feel like that's not PC. It's fine.
What's PC?
Politically correct.
That's a thing. PC is a thing.
PC? Yeah.
I've never heard of that. I'm probably too politically incorrect to know what that is.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. I'm very inclusive, I promise.
Okay.
You don't think I am?
No, I think you are for the most part. You're just very outspoken.
Okay, yeah.
All right, well, let's get rolling into this.
You were supposed to encourage me to speak my mind. Okay, Gretchen. Okay, Regina.
I'll deal. All right.
You didn't really take it back, though.
What? No, I didn't. What?
That
you're not.
I'm politically incorrect and outspoken. Do you think you can be politically correct and not be outspoken?
I think so. Maybe you're that. I think you fit maybe more into that.
She's just
category.
trying to start a fight on the podcast right now. When we turn off this microphone, I will be dealing with her later. I promise.
There's gonna be a fist fight. Throw me off our balcony.
Yeah, I'm gonna lob her off the balcony.
Oh my god.
Okay. With Madeline.
No. Okay. Let's roll right into this. So we've got a little bit of a timeline here of what has been going on. Most of you know, if you're listening to this, you're either involved or you know about what has been happening with MAO. It's basically a disaster. But we know that on June 5th, this past summer, Gretchen Carlson, the new chairwoman for the Miss America organization, announced these changes, which was the elimination of swimsuit, and they were changing evening gown and, I don't know, trying to push Miss America in this new direction, I guess. But people were pissed.
Yeah, no one was happy. And if people said they were happy about it, they were lying.
Yeah, we were all pissed. So
that's the thing too. Like and I know you have too, blatantly seen people be mad about it, but then like post and act like everything is Gucci.
I mean,
it's not.
Sellout. That's what it is.
Thank you. Jessica's, I love it. Jessica's on the sellout bandwagon now with me. I'm an influencer. No.
I'm changing.
It's like
not quite.
When your kid grows up, I want to be a social influencer.
I would encourage them so hard.
Really?
I mean, I don't know. You can make some good money that way.
If, like the 1 in a million who make it. It's like the Logan and Jake Pauls of the world who make it.
I would love to be David Dobrik.
Me too. That's another podcast.
Okay.
I love David Dobrik.
Back on track.
Yes. So
July happened.
July. Did we talk about that yet?
Not yet.
Okay, July. Directors of 22 state pageants circulated the letter of no confidence calling for the resignation of Carlson, Hopper, and the MAO board. So that's Gretchen Carlson and Regina Hopper.
Yeah. This went around. I mean, like,
go Wisconsin.
I know. Wisconsin signed it. I'm so glad.
We're proud.
And this got around. It got hundreds of thousands of signatures on this.
Right on.
And to be honest, I don't know where it ended up. Like, what happened to it, I guess.
They could care less about us, basically, is what they're saying.
Nobody cares anymore.
They're Goliath and we're David. But do you know what happens in the end?
We are David Dobrik.
No, in the end, do you know what happens? David wins.
Always.
You know what? The truth will set you free. And what is meant to be will be, and we will win in the end.
You're so quotable.
That is just very true. That's what my dad said every single year. He said, you know what? We will win in the end. Because there is more to life than pageants.
There is. There's more to life than a crown and sash.
You know what? And that's the thing, too. It's like you don't want to burn bright and die young. You know?
Live fast, die young. Bad girls do it well.
No, what? What?
You know that song?
No.
What?
No, I'm having like a supernova. Burn bright, die young.
Yeah. And then you said, live fast. I was saying, live fast, die young. Bad girls do it well.
I don't know what that is.
Oh my God. We're going to play the track after
What
this.
song is it?
I don't even know what it's called.
Oh.
It's a jam.
That's my response to everything.
Okay. Maddie's never impressed with what I have to say.
Do you think I sound unimpressed with most things?
Yes. Yeah, always.
I think it's either like too excited or just like I think I just am always like no.
Never mind. That's how we feel about MAO right now. Honestly,
hard pass.
So basically, this petition that went around, this letter of no confidence, the petition said we were promised transparency. So this was written by people, the states, people outside of or people involved in the organization, volunteers, contestants, etc. It said, we were promised transparency, competence, and adherence to best practices and good governance. Miss America 2.0 is simply a title for the same old tactics of, I don't know how to pronounce that word.
That's a weird word.
I don't know why I put this in here.
We're smart, we promise.
Scholarship.
Yeah.
College
degrees.
Basically fear-based governance. And that is from NewJersey.com.
And then, this fall, this is a little bit a rough patch.
So basically, what makes me mad, though, is that this petition went around, whatever, like, Gretchen was not having it. She didn't want to listen to what anybody said. Yeah. She just keeps blocking people on Twitter.
Right.
But then in the fall, MAO announced New Jersey, New York, Florida, Georgia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee to be terminated from the organization unless state leadership was replaced.
So tell us why those specific states.
I honestly have no idea. I think
they put a lot of them of a fight.
A lot of them I think were more active in trying to bring down the national leadership.
Right. Colorado, they quit in protest, but since Florida has been reinstated with a new board, I'm guessing.
This was just within the last month.
Okay.
I think in December, Florida was reinstated. So, like, they're back on the bandwagon, I guess. So, this is frustrating, though, actually, because recently it was said that, like, I wish I had the article on hand, but it was that, like, they didn't want to have, or they weren't going to have the pageant in Atlantic City anymore again. Did you see something about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I did.
Which is so strange because, that's the birthplace of Miss America, and New Jersey was also on the list to be terminated from the national organization. Right. I don't know. I just think it's strange.
It is. And this is a point that Jessica actually brought up to me before we started recording about states that have had their licenses revoked are required to divert their scholarship money to the national organization.
It's a mess. I think that's so sketchy because so many state organizations, like, I feel like state organizations are very, I don't know, in a way they've been disconnected from the national organization because, like, they do their own fundraising. Like, I know at Miss Wisconsin, we always, like, are fundraising for scholarships and all that on our own. Mm-hmm. We don't get much from the national organization, I guess.
No.
So I think it's weird that states that are revoked or, like, are no longer a part of the national program per se, are required to give all of their hard-earned scholarship money, that the money that is donated by volunteers and people who have been, like, so generous to the state organizations, they're required to give all of that just to the national program. Don't you think it'd be funny if they took those 10 days and spent all the money? Oh my God,
and they had nothing to give them. Sorry, these are our expenses from last year. That's what I would do. Yeah,
so basically the states who have their licenses revoked have 10 days to appeal the decision. This is also from NewJersey.com. And then after an appeal hearing is granted, Miss America execs can move to replace the state's leadership, meaning a new director can be installed at each pageant so they can stay a part of the national organization.
This all sounds a little bit confusing, I feel like, but if you break it down, it's basically the national organization is trying to take over all the state organizations and, have with them what they want, which is really just, I don't know. I don't like that at all. Because I think it should be, state organizations should have their own money. State organizations do all the fundraising. Like, we barely get anything from the national board anyway, except maybe a couple scholarships at each state pageant.
Right.
So it's just so sketchy that if their licenses are revoked, they have to just give away all that hard-earned money. And that's not going to benefit anybody. Like, I remember when Gretchen was always like, oh, we're doing this for the girls. Like, we're moving this organization forward because we want this to benefit from like the ground up. But seriously, obviously, if this is happening, it's not going to benefit any of the contestants.
Right. I'm trying to think do you know any Miss Americas who still support the new 2.0?
I don't.
Is Mallory Hagan still?
I don't know. I haven't heard a lot from her lately.
Can I just bring up a point that I find very ironic and tell me if you agree or disagree?
Set it free. Let me take a sip of my wine.
Exactly. So they were always kind of like, I'm so glad that swimsuit is gone and like we're moving forward. And like sometimes people talk about like how swimsuit's hard for them or something if they're not like a typical size 0 or 2 or whatever, which I totally get. But like they were Miss America. Like they still won. Like how would they know how it feels like not to place because of their swimsuit or like not do well? Like they won Miss America.
Still made it.
You still made it over thousands of other people.
Yeah. I know.
Like, how would you know?
How would you know?
Yeah, well, really.
Honestly, that's so true, though.
Get a grip. You know, like that just kind of throws me off the edge.
And the thing is, too, like the statements that I've heard from Gretchen or that I've seen from her are all like, something about. I wish I had the direct quote, but it was like. Something about how petitions aren't going to bring swimsuit back. And it's like, this is not about swimsuit anymore. And we talked about that in our very first episode, that it's not about swimsuit anymore. It's about transparency and the lack thereof.
Right.
Like there has been no communication, and we're going to get to that because we have a couple messages too.
I might disagree a little bit just because I fight for swimsuit and I also fight for it because Gretchen Carlson, who claims that she pioneered the Me Too movement, which, yes, her case was great for the Me Too movement, but she did not start Me Too. She did not start Me Too. No, not even close. So it kind of bothers me how she paired it with Me Too because I'm sure I've said this in a past episode about how women shouldn't be judged on their bodies, whatever. But in true feminism, you should be supporting whatever a woman wants to be. And that's... girl power. That's what if a girl wants to, wear a swimsuit on stage, support her. Victoria's Secret fashion show, support her. Bodybuilding competitions, support them. Modeling, support them. Stripping, support them. Honestly, it's not your life. Guess what? If you don't want to do it, no one's holding a gun to your head to make you do it.
Exactly. And that's that frustrates me too. And I've been so back and forth about the swimsuit thing because I always loved swimsuit. I always that was a strong point for me. Like I was very sad to see it go, but also we said this in the first episode too, that, I just lost my train of thought, but it was like taking away swimsuit is almost saying, what did we say?
We basically were telling people that, first of all, we're conforming to society's skewed perception of reality, and we're giving them what they want. It's way more strong and feminist to say, you know what, screw you, we can be smart, we can be in shape, quote unquote, fit, we can be talented, we can be everything, because Miss America is supposed to be, somebody next level who has it all. If we want them to be so relatable, why are we promoting mediocrity? Why shouldn't we be striving for greatness anymore? Honestly, it's literally we want you to be a total mess almost and have nothing going for you, because that's how most Americans are nowadays. Why shouldn't you have people striving to be the best versions of themselves?
Well-rounded, able to speak, able to, keep up with health and fitness, because that's well-roundedness to me. Without... Or
even, like I said, just confidence. The confidence that you say, you know what, I could be a size, quadruple 0 or a size whatever, and I can still rock you know, how I come across on stage, my body, in a seemingly uncomfortable situation, watch me do it and watch me do it well.
Right.
And we are just throwing all of that out the window.
Yeah.
By getting rid of Swimsuit. It just stands for so much more.
I agree.
And that, like, that's a whole nother thing, which we could get into on another episode. But we have about, like, 5 to 10 minutes to wrap this up. So, basically...
Okay, we're still frustrated, clearly.
Right, we're still frustrated.
Still frustrated, and I feel like, I mean, the transparency and the communication between the national board and the rest of us has been minimal, completely.
Right.
And we're going to hear that. We're going to read through a couple of messages from our current Miss Georgia, Annie Jorgensen, and a message from Brooke Doss, who was a longtime contestant in the Miss Georgia pageant.
Maybe we should just read a little snippet from each and just post them on our Facebook.
Yes.
So go look at our Facebook and our Instagram to read the full messages because we'll just
pick through. Yeah.
We just want to get through these really fast and not bore you at the same time.
So essentially, Georgia was one of those that was announced to be terminated from the national org unless state leadership is replaced. So we had a message that was posted publicly by Annie, Miss Georgia. And she said, we have the direct quote here, but she said, in light of recent events, the issues surrounding the Miss America organization boil down to a lack of transparency, basically. That's what we always say.
Right.
So in complete transparency, I want you all to know that I learned of the latest developments, like much of you, through social media. It's very strange and honestly unnerving to have my board, or my bosses, removed and replaced without as much as a phone call or email from the national board. Yikes.
Like, what the heck? But the rest of it is basically like thanking other people.
Yeah, thank you to those who have contributed to her journey or whatever as Miss Georgia. She feels that the Miss Georgia program will continue to prosper, but she's just very upset that people who have dedicated so much of their lives to the organization are being treated so disrespectfully without the proper communication and transparency. That just makes me sad, honestly.
It's very sad. And people who aren't, like, who see the evidence right in front of them and still refuse to believe that this is happening.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
I mean, look at history when that's happened and what's gone on.
It's
like, what's the end result?
Good. It's never been good.
So get with the program.
Can't turn a blind eye to the masses, you know?
If you don't like it, you can't just ignore it.
Right. So we will take a little screenshot of this this message from Annie, Miss Georgia, and post it so you can read the whole thing. But I want to go over to a message from Brooke Doss, who's a longtime contestant, and she was this year's Miss Georgia Sweetheart. So I competed at the National Sweetheart pageant with her. But she competed at Miss Georgia 7 times. And she says, let me start by saying this. I never was Miss Georgia, but I competed in more Miss Georgia pageants than most Miss Georgias I know. 7. I know the board, I know the field directors, and my heart is broken right now, knowing that the Miss Georgia will never be the same. She explains that Miss Georgia is an experience of a lifetime, so much tradition. I mean, it's one of the strongest state pageants, I think, in the country, basically. But she explains that the Miss Georgia board is why she came back year after year, hoping to win the title and represent Georgia and work with the volunteers who have dedicated so much of their time to her success and the success of so many women. But then she goes on to say that she knows that there is no way that she can compete for an organization that has done so much damage over the past year and that has destroyed the Miss Georgia pageant that I will always know and love. I cannot support MAO any longer, nor do I have any desire to compete in a Miss Georgia pageant without the real board as its leaders. This is also really sad because, I mean, I know Brooke. I know that she was so passionate about this job. She placed second runner-up this year, and she dubbed herself down at the bottom as the Miss Georgia Voy Board's perpetual runner-up, which I love. But honestly, it's just so sad that there are so many like great women that are involved in this organization that are being turned away because of these changes. And it just, I don't know, it makes me scared for the future of the program, to be honest, that like, where are all these women going who could benefit so greatly from MAO 1.0? So we will also post Brooke's full statement on our social media so you can read right through. But it's really sad that the national board is just basically tearing down all the state organizations one by one and watching it burn, and not listening to the people at the very bottom. So
yay,
that's just sad. So what did we learn today, Maddie?
We learned that we still don't like MAO anymore.
Nope. Still not a fan of MAO 2.0.
Yeah, again, I also am so sick of hearing like the transparency word, just because it's all everyone's been saying for 6+ months.
Yeah. So
I'm just very like, lack of transparency, it's like, it's overkill for me at this point. Honestly, they're all just idiots in my book. They don't know how to run an organization. Yeah. Miss America needs like a full-on take back sort of deal.
We thought we were going to get that, but...
Right. Miss America in itself, it's sad. And again, it's nothing to do with like specific states. It's just Miss America at the national level is just corrupt.
Yeah.
AF.
Crumbling.
It is. And I have said it before, I will dance on its grave at some day.
Love that.
It's just sad. Like I have so many great memories from it. I have so many great memories from Miss Wisconsin, but the national level is just needs some TLC majorly.
For real.
And again, it's like, Gretchen, like, what's really your point at like doing this? Like, don't you have other things to do?
I know. I always wonder. I mean, she's just made so many decisions without considering
other people's viewpoints,
who've done the actual work, who have done this before.
It.
Yes.
Gretchen, I know this was your thing in the 80s, but
it's not the 80s anymore, sister. Yeah, it's just frustrating. I hope she tweets at us or something, or blocks us.
She probably doesn't have time to listen to our podcast because,
True. We're just specks on her map.
Exactly.
Has-beens.
Pretty much.
All right. Let's wrap this up for you. We promised it would be a short episode, so we're sticking by that.
Yep, we are.
So let's move on to our Would You Rather. Crime and Dangerous edition.
Would you rather switch wardrobe with another contestant right before the show, or compete in a pageant tomorrow with zero prep?
Yikes.
Do you know which one I would pick?
You would go into a pageant with no prep because that's what you do already.
I know. I'm just a very wing it person. If I rehearse something too much, I get really I think it gets too much in my system and kind of robotic. I like being really candid and really honest and everything, so I kind of like just going into something basically based on how I'm feeling. And plus, switching wardrobe, nothing fits everyone the same, so that kind of makes me nervous. I guess it would depend if I had to go back to being 17-year-old Madeline and competing in my very first pageant with no practice, or if I could like go tomorrow and do it.
Right.
I would obviously
tomorrow would be so easy, obviously.
Yeah, tomorrow I think I could snap back into it pretty easily, and I feel like I might actually
throw that swimsuit back on.
Well, yeah. I feel like I might actually do better if I jumped in tomorrow, just because I feel like having time off too just makes you very natural and just kind of like, you know what?
Let's do this.
Whatever. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that's why I was like, I feel like I was, I don't know. This was a hard year for me competing, but because I had a year off in between. Yeah. Like I didn't compete last year. Well, at the state level anyway, but I just felt like going into this, I was like raging bull, ready to roll.
Right.
But I think, I mean, that wardrobe would have to be top notch if I was going to switch it.
Right. Exactly.
I would definitely go in with no prep. So we will post this on our Facebook page so you can weigh in and let us know what you think. But our crown cringe this week is very funny. It says, there was a girl who, just before we voted for Miss Congeniality, went around to every girl and gave out little baggies of Starbursts in them. We literally had the ballots right in front of us. It was very clear what she was doing, and it was cringeworthy.
Who is this, like a sweetheart sister?
This is from, I'm part of like this, like, the Skim. that we read. So I'm like a Skimbassador. So we have like a Facebook group. And then there's like a subgroup that's like a pageant Skimbassador one. So I asked on there, I was like, does anybody have a crown cringe? And that was one of them.
Oh, cute.
That like some girl went around and was like, vote for me. Here's some Starbursts.
It's like voting for prom queen, honestly. I've seen like that stuff, but like lots of pageants, like people campaign hard for Miss Congeniality. Mm-hmm. And it's like
I've seen so many girls be so fake to try and be Miss Congeniality.
Ooh, Jessica's
I'm just
giving
gonna
out
say
the
that.
juice.
I mean, like I feel like every Miss Congeniality that like has been a part of a pageant that I've been in has been well deserved. But I've seen like right before we vote or something, some girls are like, "Does anybody need help?" Or like,
yeah,
like what are you trying to do? I don't know. Like true colors always show, and I feel like every Miss Congeniality that I've seen has been deserving of it. But
it was so funny. My second year competing, when we did Miss Congeniality, we like there was a group of us who I'm still really good friends with now. We all kind of not swung the vote, but we all were like we all got together and decided who we're voting for. So
I remember
the majority.
I was there.
Were you in the group vote or no?
I don't know.
No.
But I know what you're talking about.
I still remember when we went into that. Jessica and I, we were going into someone's room to visit them, and they opened the door, and they were like, "We're dishing in here. If you want to stay, you can still always leave." And I stayed. I remember Jessica like ran out. Do you remember this?
I don't remember this.
Second year at state, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and you were like, "Nope," and you like left.
They were dishing?
Yeah.
Why did I leave?
I don't know. You were just like, "Oh, I'm gonna go find like so and so." You remember this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember this.
It was funny, but
clearly we know where both of us stand.
No, but yeah. So basically, we like fixed the vote, but it was so worth it. And the girl, she was amazing.
Oh, so funny.
But no, I've seen people like give out stuff to be Miss Congeniality.
So weird.
Ugh. Jessica, have you ever won a Miss Congeniality?
No, I never have.
I've won Spirit of Miss America, but that's it.
I don't think I've won Spirit of Miss America either.
It might just be a Miss Lacrosse thing. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, they're like at a lot of, but I've only competed in opens and stuff though too. Yeah. So they don't hand out very much awards there.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm my own Spirit of Miss America.
There you go.
All right. Should we finish?
Yeah.
Should we wrap up? This is so quick, I feel like.
I know.
Oh my god, did we even talk about anything?
I know.
Oh my gosh. So thank you for listening. If you haven't listened to past episodes, obviously binge them all and let us know what you think. We love to hear from you. But be sure to follow Public House Media, our network, on all social media. And also follow us at Crowned and Dangerous on Instagram. You can like us on Facebook. We're going to be a lot more active in 2019 because we have some like this little social media campaign we're going to try and kick off. We'll see how that goes.
I just want a piece of granola in my tights. I just found it.
Yum.
Yeah.
Delish.
Little snack.
Dinner.
Ew.
What else?
Yeah, we have some fun things planned.
We do.
I'm getting Jessica. I pitched an idea to Jessica yesterday, and I think we're going to maybe do it.
I'm excited.
If she's down. But
surprises.
Yeah. Yay!
So you can subscribe to us and rate us and review us on the show wherever you're listening. I don't care if it's Spotify. I don't care if it's Apple Podcasts. Wherever. Exit out of this and give us a little review. Let us know how
Unless you want to give us 1 star, then don't bother.
Yeah, 1 star, we don't do that.
If you're going to give us 1 star, you care too much.
Yes, 5 stars or bust.
And you might as well just give us 5, yeah.
You can also comment on our posts, email us, slide into our DMs, shop the merch, all that stuff, because we love to hear from you.
We will be back in 2 weeks on January 10th for a brand new episode.
Kickoff to 2019.
Yes. Woo! We can't wait. This has been Maddie and Jess reminding you to always wear your invisible crown, keep it real, and if you do not know what to say, world peace.
Bye.